Been quite a few days now since I posted on here, and everyone's waiting for an update. I've got so many people asking me, how many did you get back? Did any more return? What's happened to the pigeons? Unfortunately, the only pigeon I got back after the last video posted was one that went back to Josh. So in total, out of the 13 pigeons, as you've seen, they all had a good look round. We only managed to get 3 back, which is a bit bizarre really. It's like a week odd later. You think more would have turned in. But the 2 that went back to Josh was quite flown out. So have they gone in with a batch of late breds that people have been training up? Have they been scattered by a hawk? If they've been scattered by a hawk, I'd imagine they wouldn't go that far. They'd more likely go to ground, as people were saying. But where are they? Where have they gone? My pockets better be deep, because 10 reported pigeons, that's what, about 500 quid to get them back by courier. Not been the greatest, and I've had loads to do, so yeah, content's been taking a little while, but we have got a few updates. We've got several babies hatched out, which is good. I'm going to let you have a little look at them now. And I've been working hard down the allotment, which is the other side to this channel that a lot of you newbies have not seen yet. So we'll get into that a little bit later on as well. So the first to hatch. I don't know if he's covering them completely. Yeah, right, Bob. Alright, there you go. Nice full crop of milk on that one there. The other one's got its backside to us. He's a lovely pigeon off Josh here. So it's first to hatch. I think there's about 9 or 10 hatched out at the minute. More due to hatch out over the next couple of days. Here's another lovely pigeon. I was hoping the young bird of this was going to be silver, like her, but I don't think it is. Obviously, I don't want to be messing with them too much. We did have one clear egg with these. Alright, alright. So that one's hatched as well. But yeah, one egg was clear. She's, you know what, Silver's, from being a kid, Silver was my favourite colour pigeon. And when Josh said I could take her, I was over the moon. Colours mean nothing, and we've all got a soft spot for a certain colour pigeon, let's face it. Don't care who you are. It could be a blue, it could be a check, it could be a red, mealy, silver, white. We've all got that soft spot. We all like that one colour. But yeah, in the other sheds we've got some more that I've hatched in this one. They all need cleaning out at the minute. As I said, I don't clean just for a video. I clean because they need cleaning. So yeah, there's several young birds hatched out in this one, and as you can see by the eggs on the floor, there's some more hatched out overnight, I'd imagine. There's 2 eggshells down there. I don't know which box is hatched, but I think it will be his. If anything, David, the next one is due to hatch. We've got 2 young ones in here, and we've got them 2 if they're the ones that have hatched. To this section where the 13 pigeons were, it's full again. It's full again. So the 3 pigeons that come back are in here. There's the one that come back to me on the floor. Let me try and get you a better look at him. There you go. He's the one that come back to me. And in here we have them 3, as I've just said. I've got another pair that Josh let me take, which is the mealy pie down in the back. And there's a blue somewhere. So he's let me take another pair. There's a mealy cock that's come out of the other shed, ready to broke in off Jed. And then there's a couple of late breds here off Jed, the grizzle. And we have a tumble across show pigeon in here, which Josh gave me to use as a trapper. Stunning pigeon though. So we've got our own little trapper. Not much to report on the pigeon front, because it's more prioritising the allotments at the minute, and just feeding these and making sure these have got everything they need. Grit, minerals, multivitamins, good food, etc. Did, however, have the first meeting the other day for the club. Got the allocation sheet, got the race programme. So the first race for the old birds is April the 11th. So if we can break them in, we can get them in the basket. And I know, again, people are going to say, don't want to be wasting your time on broken pigeons. But it breaks the season up and it keeps me interested for racing, getting ready for young birds and stuff, doesn't it? So it is what it is. The side to my channel and my life is growing food for people in need. And as you can see, these are the seed potatoes that I need to get out of these bags today. They need to be set out, they need to be chitting. So I've got some egg boxes in the car, so I'm going to go with the egg boxes now. And then we're going to lay these out and let them chit. When I say chit, basically if you ever had a bag of spuds under your cupboard and you've left them a little bit long, they will start, I'm going to unravel that, they'll start growing shoots on them. And that's what we want. Now we don't want to be planting these until the last frost. Some of them going underground early as long as we cover them up, but we don't want them shooting until after the last frost. So I normally get these in around April time. Fortunately, in the last house, we had loads of room to be chitting potatoes and that, and in this house, unfortunately, we haven't. So I've got to just lay them on the floor and just hope for the best. We did have an offers in the other house, which was a 3-bedroom house, not a 2, where I could put everything to do with the garden related stuff and that. But at the minute, my spare room's been taken over by pigeon stuff and plant stuff. So yeah, for anyone that's just joining, just watching this, that I've just joined for the pigeon side of it. If you don't know me, I run a TikTok channel called Mr. Allotment and another one called Grow Your Own Northwest CIC. I've got a community interest company, which is like a charity, but it's a non-for-profit organisation registered with Companies House. So I grow food for people in need, and I've done it for the past 5 years. And last year we set a challenge to grow a ton of food, literally 1,000 kilos of food. We set that challenge and we smashed that challenge. We stopped counting after 1,150 kilos. So yeah, if you've not already tuned into that sort of content, hit that subscribe button and follow for progress, because we're going to be putting a lot more on YouTube this year, which it didn't last year. It's all over TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, jump over, click on Mr. Allotment and have a little look at some of the things that we've done last year. It's worth a watch. So start off with these ones, which are, they are a Cara, 5 kilo. So start off with these ones. These are quite small. All we're going to do is put the shoots up in the, so you get some that'll have got shoots top and bottom. We're going to put 2 shoots up, and that's it. Pretty much leave them to it. Very full already, and we're not even halfway through the bag yet. Filled 2.5 egg box trays, just over 2.5 actually. So I might need some more egg box trays. So it's 5 kilos of potato, budget seeds, which are also known as pretty wild seeds. Quite reasonable, to be honest, because I got them, and I got so I got 20 kilo potatoes and kilos of onions and a few other little bits, about 70 odd quid. So it wasn't too bad, to be fair. But as I say, the onions are dying to be planted, and I'll get you down the allotment shortly to show you where we're up to with that and how far we're off planting. So now we're onto the floor. No more space, as I say. Space is a struggle. We'll get these ones out. Obviously, you don't want to sit there and watch me put every single one of these into a tray. But We'll get this done and we'll get on to the next thing. You can see that one only took a tray and 3/4, but it's to do with the size of the potatoes for the weight. It's 5 kilo and they're Charlottes, they are. Charlottes make a lovely crop. That's it. We have the trays of potatoes out ready for chitting. Taking over my spare bedroom. So we've got Charlotte at the back. I've got 2 trays of Desiree, which are then like a red potato, like a purpley ready colour potato, ready for like mash and stuff like that. They're ideal. Got Kestrel, and up here we have Cara. Now, what you've got to be careful of, because these have been left in the bag a little bit too long, they don't get any soft, rotten potatoes. They are going to go slightly soft when they're chitting, but you don't want anything rotten, so you've got to keep an eye on them that nothing rots, because rot sort of like, you can think of rot like rust, you know what I mean, it spreads throughout the others. So if any start rotting, remove them, make sure they're not touching anything else, and you'll be fine. Thing I do need to go through over the next coming days is the seed collection. So I have a drawer set with all the seeds in. These will be like all the tomato seeds what I've got, to find out exactly what I've got ready to plant. So they're tomatoes. Oh, it's a pain in the arse, this drawer. These are bell peppers and chilies. I'm not doing many of them this year. These will be carrots, radish, beetroot, stuff like that. Courgettes, melons, cucumbers, all that type of stuff in there. Lettuce, spinach leaves will all be in that one. Kind of organised. Brassicas, like your sprouts, your broccoli, your cauliflower, your chard, Swedes, they're all in that one. They can be started this week. Pumpkins, melons in that one. Not much in that one. All the stuff in here, like these are the marigold seeds that I've collected. I ended up with like 100 tubs off about 30 plants. They go ridiculous. But marigold is a companion plant, so I've got like a lot more marigold seeds there. These are mainly flowers, some bean sprouts, sunflowers, stuff like that. Nasturtiums. So these type of flowers are the ones that protect your other crops from like the distraction. So they'll smell the marigolds, they won't smell the tomatoes, so then you get rid of tomato blight, etc. Got leek, spring onions, so they're all the onions pretty much in that one. These are all the selection packs, so these have got a mixture of everything. Trying to think of what's in this one. This is all the peas and beans in that one. And what's in this one? Right, so these are all like the herbs and stuff like that, sage, coriander. So there's quite a lot of packets of seeds, and the dates on them are quite long, so I've planted seeds that are 10-year-old and they've still germinated. Bear in mind the germination rate is a little bit lower, but they've still germinated. I'm going to wash my hands because now they're all covered in potato dirt. Put my proper shoes on, and then I'm going to get you down the allotments so you can have a little look at the allotments. And yeah, it's not the best weather down there today either. It has been raining, so everything's going to be a bit waterlogged. Did get down there yesterday with the rotavator, turned the 2 things over, rebarked the polytunnel, but I'll show you that when we get down there. So, we're just coming up to the allotment now. The weather is bad, as you can hear, the rain. So as you can see, we've rotavated some of these beds on plot 1. I'm currently hardening the greenhouse. We've been down, started tidying this greenhouse up a little bit. When we moved out, all the stuff just got brought down here, so we've had a big clear out of pots. I've got all my pots here ready for me starting some seeds off at home. No longer got a heated greenhouse at home, so we're just going to have to put up with the conservatory for now. But again, for our channel, like Last year we were showing about heated greenhouses. This year we can show about how to use a conservatory, so it's handy. We got our fruit cage up. We took everything out of that the other day. Just needs weeding and rotivating. We've got some onions that we put in back end of the season. They need to come out. The rhubarb's just starting off now. We cleared this out yesterday, so what we need to do is get some new stuff on top, dig it all over, put some chicken manure pellets on it like we did last year, and then I think I'm going to replace the beams around the top. They're looking a bit rotted, so I think I'm going to replace them, and that just gives the plant some structure. Yesterday this was full, so we sorted through a lot of these pots. There's a couple of leaks in this shed, but we just use this as a storage / potting shed. Plenty of bags of compost down here. So yeah, it's another thing that we've sorted out. I said I don't want to be spending much time down here because the rain is absolutely terrible. But in that shed that we've got there is basically all our plant foods and stuff like that. A chair where we can sit when it rains. Unfortunately I've left the key in the gate up there, so we can't go in there. But yeah, this is plot 1. Although it is a mess now, it won't take long to get back to the way we had it in the growing season. We had all our garlics in here, all our onions up here. As you've just seen previous in the video, we've got all the potatoes chit, and we've got the onions, we've got all the seeds. That's plot 1. Plot 2, it's only a little short walk around here. We're going to show you plot 2, and then we'll drive past the new plot, which we're waiting for the lease for, and show you plot 3. We have got another plot up in Preston, but that's like an orchard. That's 3/4 of an acre. That's an orchard. And that's basically just going to have to be cut, kept on top of once a month, and we harvest all the fruits off the trees up there. So this is plot 2. You can see yesterday we started digging these beds over. We need to go through it, weed it. We just got the rotavator in there. We still need to put weed control down in these paths, and we need to get the bark on top of it. We've got about 3 3/4 ton of wood chips still over here. But yeah, we need to sort the beds out. The compost is really good in these beds, so it's not bad. A lot of the stuff hasn't been rotten down in the compost base, but they were filled to the top then, so it is going. It's just not rotten down into compost. It needs a certain level of browns and greens to be able to rot down properly into compost. So this is the polytunnel. We rotavated this over. We leveled it all out, and we re-wood chipped it. Obviously the wood chip hasn't dried out yet, so it still looks like just mud, looks like mulch. But we re-wood chipped it the other day. We have had a lot of rodents digging around in here, but I presume they're just coming out and trying to get some shelter. The only thing I will say we didn't think through last year was the amount of marigold seeds that there was going to be from the marigolds that we put in. Now, without deadheading everything, it was taking up time, but if you look at that soil, if you look closely, there's a lot of marigold seeds, and I'm presuming every single one of them will germinate. But I will say there's thousands upon thousands of marigold seeds in here. The soil is just full of them. You can let me get you in the corner where you can see properly. They're just everywhere. But it just means there's more weeding, doesn't it? So I put the staging in out of the other greenhouse in here. So we're just going to start things up in here. with not having the heated greenhouse, I think the polytunnel does keep its temperature a little bit better. So yeah, this is the polytunnel. Last year we grew over 500 kilos of just tomatoes in this polytunnel. There's a lot of tomatoes, and then obviously we had cucumbers, potatoes, as you can see on one of my previous videos on here and all the videos on TikTok. You will see all the actual vegetables and stuff that we grew. Say we stopped counting at 1,150 kilos of food that all got donated to struggling families and individuals. So mainly like food banks, food larders, food pantries, and occasionally an individual family that had someone had contacted me to help out. That's plot 2. That's the mess that we're dealing with at the minute. We have pruned the fruit trees, so the plum tree got a pruning, all the apple trees got a pruning. These are all apples down here. And follow for the progress, because there's a lot to do on here, but it looks worse than what it actually is at the moment. And I think we'll be able to get it turned around pretty quick once the weather allows us to. Yesterday when we had a big sort out of pots, we have a table down here. I've just noticed the winds blew one of them off. We have a table down here for anything that we no longer need that might be of any use to someone else. So just pick that back up. So we put a load of pots on here yesterday for anyone to help themselves, and a lot of it has gone. But anything that's left in a couple of days, I'll either put back in the shed, or I'll go and donate them somewhere else, take them to a garden centre recycling thing, where a garden centre by us does have a box. It's called Rivendale, and then there's loads of plant pots outside that people bring, and they put in there and it just gets recycled to save you buying pots, which I think is a really good idea. And more garden centres and shops should do something like that. Just got here. This is about a couple of minute drive away from the other plots, but this is actually closer to where I live, so it's handy, so I can come down here at the drop of a hat pretty much. So you'll see why in a minute. So this is plot 3, and the council have been in and they've frailed it all down, so it's a big space. You can see there's a couple of benches there because it used to be a bowling green. On this land we intend to raise the funding for a big polytunnel that's going to go along where the trees are, and then we intend on having a accessible 24-hour food bank on this plot, so that there'll be an emergency phone number. If someone's struggling for food, we'll be able to get food to them. We are going to have a drop box that's going to be positioned somewhere around here with a code on it, so that people online that support us online can go on Uber Eats or Just Eat or anything like that, and they can order tinned foods and non-perishables that can be dropped off in this area to us, that we can put into the food bank. See, it's a huge space, so I don't think 20 kilos of potatoes that we just put out would do this space. I think we'll need a couple of 100 kilos, because we are going to do big patches of potatoes on here, big patches of thing. We're going to use this as more a community focused plot, where members of the community can come down, they can help grow food for people in need, they can learn new skills, and that goes with planting food and DIY and stuff like that. So yeah, it's more community focused. If I can get enough funding eventually for a large cabin on here, then we can allow groups like your Knit and Natter or clubs to be able to hold meetings here and pretty much to use the space. But I am going to get big polytunnels. I've got 2 small polytunnels for now, but get big polytunnels on here, a couple of greenhouses, no raised beds down this area, but on the top here we're going to put some raised beds, so when this is all scraped we've got disabled access, so that we can allow people in wheelchairs to come down and help and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're just waiting for the legal side of it for the lease. Once the lease is done, we get the keys and we can make a start. Granted, this plot's going to be worked on throughout the summer, so there won't be a lot of food grown on here by the time we get the soil conditioned for 2026, but we're looking at the bigger picture for 2027. But we will get stuff grown on here. We're not just going to leave it, we will get stuff grown on here this year. That's it for now. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Jump over to TikTok if you're on TikTok, follow Mr. Allotment or Grow Your Own Northwest or both. Both would be brilliant. And I'll see you again shortly.
Head to bbc.co.uk/sport where you can see what events are coming up.
Yeah, speaking of inspirational people, in our next film, Kevin Douala has been to meet one local hero in Cheshire who's tackling the rising cost of food bills by taking matters into his own hands.
The cost of food in the UK has increased to its highest level in more than a year, according to the trade association, the British Retail Consortium. And that's leaving many households struggling to afford their weekly shop. One man from Runcorn is on a mission to help those in need.
So this year is looking like it's going to be a really good harvest by the size of the yield that's coming off the plants.
After losing his job in the security sector 5 years ago, Chris turned his back garden into a fruit and veg patch to grow his own food. Where'd you start?
So basically I went online to watch other people of how they garden and learn through online tutorials so that I could grow food to save me money, be more sustainable and feed me and my family. And I managed to realise very quickly that the space that I had, I could grow a lot of food, and it wouldn't just help me, but it'd help the local community as well.
And when did you realise that people needed your help?
When I started advertising it on social media, you know, I'm growing food, like if you need any, I had a designated spot, which was a post box at the end of my street. I was having to fill that up twice a day. So then I realised, like, well, there is a real need for food.
To cope with demand, Chris now rents 2 allotments to increase harvests. So when he's not working as a security guard, he's growing food for people struggling financially. I know seeds are cheap individually, but collectively it adds up to a few quid.
Yeah.
How were you able to afford that?
I had a little bit of money from my jobs, so I obviously had to limit like spending and stuff like that. At the moment, it's funded by help of people on social media.
Okay.
They're willing to help buy packets of seeds, compost equipment for the allotment.
How much of this takes up your time?
So I probably spend about 30 to 40 hours a week growing.
I think I've got at least 200 potatoes from this little area.
Today, Chris will be making his first delivery for a local community food pantry.
All right, so that's the van loaded. It's time to get it up to 4 estates. I'm feeling excited to be able to hand this food out. I feel like they're going to be impressed. This is the food that we've got for you today.
Oh my God! Wow, look at all that. Oh, it smells amazing. Potatoes, onions, wow.
That is amazing.
Garlic, they smell.
Them onions are really impressive as well.
Sheila Keeney helps run 4 Estates Food Pantry. What impact does the pantry have here?
It has a terrific impact, and it's about people being able to get healthier options for their families. I think we can take a little bit of pride in something that local people started and local people are still involved in.
So we've been growing this. Some of the onions been grown from November last year, ready to harvest now.
What would you be doing if this wasn't here today?
Well, I go shopping a lot because I've got 2 young kids. We're all pinching the pennies, I would say. You know, everyone gets to that last week of the month where, you know, you're running out of things and you want to get fresh goods.
So Chris, who's grown all of these vegetables in his allotments for free, what would you like to say to him?
I would say not just for me, I know a number of families have actually benefited. I would say God bless him and he should keep up the good work. It's like life-saving really, because it's quite important.
You can have as many as you want. You tell me when to stop. We've got them up to now.
If this wasn't here, would you struggle, do you think?
Probably more than likely, not only for bills, but I've got grandchildren and you like to treat them now and then, you know, so yeah. But if this wasn't here, well then, obviously, all the treats have gone and you struggle with your utility bills.
Yeah. Chris's ambition is to supply his homegrown food to places like this all over the northwest of England.
I plan on obtaining several acres of land to be able to do this on a much bigger scale. Whether I have to go and take extra time and work to help fund it, or rely on funding from like the government and the local council, they have been really good up to now. If I can make a difference by growing some food,
to give to people that help them and help them save money, then it's all worthwhile.
It's amazing to think what started with just one man growing a few spuds in his garden to help feed his family has grown so much bigger. And not only that, it's making a huge difference to this community.
Oh, that is brilliant, isn't
Fabulous.
it? It's incredible
So
to see what Chris is doing.
Yeah, it really
Roast
is.
and veg, see, isn't it?
Well, it's the best type of food.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I love it. Love it. Love
We've got
it.
potatoes, but...
Yeah.